Good day, folks, and welcome to the segment on the bench. We're going to introduce my little golden goblin. Here's a fly that I've just developed this year and fished it on some rivers for browns and bull trout. I like the movement of it. It's big rainbows are eating it. I've taken this fly also into lakes. It works well. This fly tracks really well behind your leader with those bead chain eyes. Not too heavy. You can fish it in some shallower water. So let's go to the bench and tie one up. Well, folks, here's the materials we're going to need for the golden goblin. I'm going to start with a good hook here. This is the Tiemco 800S size 6. I really like the holding capabilities of that. Nice sharp hook. I'm going to be using some red 6/0 wax thread to tie with. There's going to be some small hot orange or red wire here for the dubbing brush. There's going to be some large bead chain eyes. Kind of level that fly out. Nice. We've got some silly legs here. This is a fire tip sand and orange. Nice barred markings in there. Gives me a nice accent in the water. Looks good. The tail is going to be, underbody is going to be the angel hair underneath. Just kind of cover up the leather. Then we'll be using some of these barred rabbit strips here. They're two-tone black, the yellow and orange, so really nice coloration. I like that for the brown trout. Perfect color that comes in all kinds of colors. Senyo's laser dub and sculpin olive is going to round out the body and the head. So let's go to the bench, tie one up. We'll explain it as we go along here. I like the 800S saltwater hook. I'm just going to crimp the barb down on that. It's a short shank hook. It really holds fish well. It's not going to get any leverage here to pry out of their mouth when they're thrashing around on you. Some of those big fish will do everything but pull a knife on you to get loose. So I like short shanked hooks rather than long shank for my streamers. They're using just the bead chain eyes on this. It just levels the fly out nice. It tracks really well in behind my leader. And that's where I want it. So then we'll come in here with some of this rusty olive angel hair. A little patch of that. It just kind of covers up my some of the leather on the strip, the rabbit strip. I'll come over here. Got a little extra left over. I'll just throw that on top. No throw in the garbage. That peeks out a little bit behind this barred rabbit, but nicely marked. There's some really nice colors. All kinds of color combinations in this now. Just use your imagination. I'm coming in here with a nice long tail. Breathes good. Swims really nice. Okay. Get some good turns on that. Tail's going to be at least 2 to 3 times the length of the body. Then I'll bring in some small red wire. You can use a dubbing loop on your regular vices. I like using the wire anywhere I can. A little stronger. Also allows my materials kind of stand out a little more too. It's got a little more body to it. I'm in here with my laser sculpin olive. All kinds of colors in this material as well. So I always leave it in the bag and just kind of pull out what I need. Get the fibers coming out nice and straight. I'm gonna kind of get them all laid, kind of leveled out. Bring my wire over the top of the materials and I wrap that good and tight till you start feeling it wanting to turn there. Okay. Bring in my dubbing brush. You can work that pretty good because that's solid in there in that wire. It's not coming out, so. And then I'll come off the side. As I go along here, I'm just going to kind of tease this back so I don't get it trapped any more than I have to. I'll come out right here to behind the eyes, tie it off. There we go. Make sure it's good and tied off nice and strong there. Grab a vodka needle. And like I say, these long, soft fibers, perfect amount of mix. Flash in there. A little bit of that red wire and thread shows through the bottom. That's okay. I'll just push this back a little bit. Got a nice taper for a minnow. Looks good. I'll bring in the secret sauce as our rubber legs. A little extra action on there. Cut that in the middle. I like the barred legs here too. It gives kind of the lateral line looks pretty nice in the water. I'll just get it on the far side. And then they're kind of sticking out, the front kickers. The back is kind of coming around the back just far enough. So we see how that looks there. There, that's got that all finished. That looks, like say in the water, it looks good, and those little legs kicking around there. I don't know why I call it a goblin, but it looks like a little creature in there, so we'll go with that. Got to give it some kind of a name to identify it. Bring in some more of our laser dub for the head. Get the fibers all laying out nice and straight. Gonna get them gathered up. I'm just gonna pinch that down on the top, in the middle, bring it underneath. Watch you don't stick that barb in your hand. This is a pretty sharp hook. And you want to make sure when you're getting flies for big fish, you're tying big head, strong fish. They got very hard mouths. You want something good and sharp. There's always ways to cheapen up a trip, but don't do it on the flies or tip it. Those are places where you want to use the best you can buy right there. So use good sharp hooks. Sometimes you get what you pay for, as it says. Now I'm going to come in here with some bone dry. I'll finish all my flies off with. Don't want them falling apart. Give a little dab there. Or UV resin. And cook that on. Finish that up. And give me a good little bug. Throws really nice too. It's heavy enough. Get down in the current where you want it to be, but you can fish. It doesn't have to be really super deep water either. This will swing in behind you on some really nice current in rivers or lakes. You can run it behind a intermediate line. It'll just follow nicely in there. You can cover a lot of really productive water when those fish are feeding in the shallows. This one's good, and it throws real nice. So here it is, a little goblin. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure you get some of these on the water, and we'll catch you again real soon. Well, folks, here's the goblin, little golden goblin, swimming its way here in the current. It's got a lot of movement, flash. It tracks really nice, so it was a good selection of materials, I believe, and the trout agree. Make sure you get some of these your fly box for your next trip out. All the best.
Thanks again to Brent for sharing this new and exciting pattern. You want to get busy and tie some up for your next trip. We appreciate you visiting us today and look forward to seeing you again on YouTube or on our website. Lots of good products and pro team videos along with all our shows spanning over 25 years.